We're back in the building with the Wednesday wrap-up show.
Yes. Yay.
Wow.
Hey, everybody.
Richard just looking just happy. That's just
Yay.
don't let this smile fool you. I'm tired. I'm so tired I can't afford to. I'm just tired.
Oh,
sometimes one can be tired from living life fully, and that is the best type of tired imaginable.
I tell you, life is life. How's everybody?
I'm cool in the fan, brother. Angel, how you doing?
I'm doing all right.
You're not supposed to be doing all right, Angel. You're supposed to be doing what?
I'm doing good.
Amazing.
Oh,
hence the name.
I'm doing amazing.
Oh wow, a little bit more enthusiasm.
Wow.
You give me a script, I'm the best actor in the world. Okay?
There's no script on the Wednesday wrap-up show. We have no idea what we're going to talk about tonight. Like, you think I'm joking. We have no idea what we're going to talk about tonight.
I had an idea. I want to talk about Hobart Larry Brown.
Who?
Hobby.
Oh, Hobie Brown.
Hobie.
Oh, Hobart. Oh, Hobie. Yes.
Before we do that, though, can we do two things? First of all, want to send our condolences to Richard Lewis's family. Richard Lewis, y'all remember, guy from Curb From Enthusiasm?
Yeah.
Passed away at age 76. So want to send condolences out to his family. Very, very funny guy. Also want to extend our congratulations to Don McGregor and the family of Billy Graham, who won not won, but they're going to be inducted into the Eisner Hall of Fame. So want to shout out to Shauna Graham, who's holding her grandfather's legacy alive.
Yeah.
And that's a wonderful thing that Billy Graham is going to now get some worldwide recognition for the work that he's done. Him and Don McGregor wrote one of the most fantastic Black Panther runs in the history of Black Panther fandom, Jungle Action. So yeah, congratulations to them.
Do we know when that is? When is the Eisners?
Not sure.
Where it is?
Not sure.
That'd be something to go to, man.
I want to salute the chat. Ain't nobody here tonight, man. Where everybody at?
We were late.
Tragic. They probably didn't think we were doing a show.
If we're late, everyone, it's not my fault. It's Derek's fault. Derek decided to put his family needs ahead of our own.
Good for him. So proud.
Go out of the country and help his daughter get into some school somewhere in Europe and have a good time and enjoy his life. Like, Black Comic Lords doesn't take precedence to the guy.
Talk about first world problems.
I know. I'm telling you. But what's up, Pericles, and what up, Bot Boy? Thank you for being here. So Angel, you said you had some things to talk about.
So
I have an unboxing too, by the way. That we'll do.
You got an unboxing.
I literally have no idea what this is. When you buy so much stuff as I do, don't tell my wife. You sometimes lose track of what you ordered. What is that?
Hobie.
Is that Spider-Punk?
Yes.
Ooh, look at a foil cover. Now, hold on, let me make you big. How do I make you big?
It's nice.
I think this one is a 1 in 10. It's a foil virgin cover. So there's a new storyline with Spider-Punk, Arms Race. So this is issue 1 that came out today. And because Spider-Punk is a newer character from first appearance was in 2015, I just wanted to, shout out to the guitar hero that we have in the Spider-Verse. He's pretty badass. I like him.
Yeah. That's a dope cover. Shout out to Cody Ziegler is doing this thing over there.
Exceptional. So run out and get it. Hurry
the
up.
Artwork is exceptional, you said? Who's the artist?
This one's a variant, so I'll have to look that up. Let me come back on that one.
Fair enough.
I didn't look it up.
Is Brooklyn in the house? Without doubt. What's up, Armistead? Style so serious.
Oh, there's 2
NBA Live
cover artists. Y'all can see that.
Takashi Ozaki. He's the one who did Afro Samurai, right?
Right, and then Rico Renzi.
And the interior artist is Justin Mason.
Yeah.
How's the interior art? Is it good?
Well, I like it. So let's look at it. I mean, there's so much color pop in it.
Yeah.
And it's not traditional. It looks like old school. Like the drawings themselves look kind of old school, but then the coloring is modern. You see that? It's really vivid. I love that. It's like a dreamscape kind of. The colors are just really, really sharp and bold. Super Slabs, how you doing?
What up?
Hey,
Mike Carson. I enjoyed your mic earlier, man. That was a nice show with Ernie Faison. That was dope.
That was some heat, bro. You're doing the big things, man. Shout out everyone. If you haven't, for those who are watching, check out Super Slab Comics on YouTube. Subscribe to his channel. Give him a shout out. Like, follow, and share his videos. He's doing big things. Style So Serious says you're killing him. And now you're breaking Bot Boy's budget by forcing him to also. Bodega Dash. The color is popping.
Yes.
Love the Spike Lee reference, man.
Yes.
Look at that. Bodega Dash.
Speaking of colors, we may need to talk about this. We may need to talk about this Jaguar book.
About the what?
The Jaguar book.
Oh yeah. Show that Jaguar book.
So,
it just dropped today.
Yes.
No, that was last week.
It dropped last week?
Yes, it dropped last week.
It was marked new today. I don't know. So if it was from last week, then so be it. But it's Archie Comics, Jaguar issue 1. But this outfit she got on, man, listen, it caught my eye in seconds. I was like, snatch.
Mm-hmm.
What does it say on the back cover?
Look at that.
Bunch of words
for vengeance.
She's Peruvian. Mm-hmm.
Featuring the talents. Sorry, raise it up a little bit. Raise it a little higher. Featuring the talents of Carol Brown, Ahmed Tango, Ellie Wright, and Jack Morelli.
There's some black folks on that. I don't know no white people named Ahmad.
And this is what I was saying is all the features look Afro.
Don't listen to Herschel. Don't you have to defend it. Looks like a dope book.
No, we are on every continent. That's it. The someone's country heritage does not mean that they're not Black. That's what my point is.
That sounds remarkably like
Message.
Yeah, well, do what you gotta do. Message.
You know what they say about when people look at their family tree, they just stare at it.
Right.
They don't want to shake it because the nigga fall out of it.
And then I picked this up.
Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer.
Yeah,
That's what, 5 or 6?
6. Is that issue 6?
So that just dropped this week.
Yeah.
So let's take a look at the books that have dropped this week. I mean, it's Wednesday, so none of us have really had a chance to read the books, but we can show what's
No, not yet. Rebel Moon issue 2 came out last week too.
What issue 2?
Rebel Moon.
Okay, yeah.
They came out last week as well.
So for those of you who may be new to the page, we have a website called blackcomiclords.net. It is the culmination of everything that we are and what we stand for. Everything that we have is there. But if you scroll down and you want to find out what are some best new and upcoming books, you go over to this tab that says best new and upcoming books and click on it. And it takes you to our League of Comic Book Geek profile, in which we painfully go through each week's books and try to pick the ones that have a good representation of a significant representation of a Black character or are done by a Black comic creator. So here's the books of this week. We have Amazon's Attack, Nubia and Company. Avengers Twilight. This one barely made the list. Kind of only made it because Luke Cage was kind of in the first issue. Old man Luke Cage kind of intrigues me. Conan the Barbarian 8.
Bro, why don't you put it up on screen?
Yeah, we can't see the covers.
You can't. Hold on. Oh, snap. It did not. All right. Sorry, my bad. I thought it switched over.
See, I told you I'd be paying attention, Angel.
You do.
Here we go. Sorry.
I saw
it. So I said Amazon's Attack, Avengers Twilight, Conan the Barbarian. This one, my boy Mark actually brought to my attention. Oddly enough, the guy who never ever pays attention to creators and artists picked up on the fact that this is actually done by Doug Braithwaite.
Oh, nice.
He's the artist on this run. His run began with issue, was it 71? What issue number is this one? This is number 8. I think his issues start with number 5, and he's supposed to go for like 3 more issues.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but his art's pretty dope. If you're a fan of Conan, you definitely want to check that out. What else we have? Dead Detective. Shout out to Black Box Comics. It's one of those indie comics that's just under the radar, but it's really putting out good quality work. Dead X-Men, with the blackest X-Men team, or one of the blackest X-Men team. I think it got beat by Victor Laval. That were all killed, and they're coming back.
Oh.
Empath. Shout out to our boy Brian Hawkins, doing big things again. Black Box Comics, indie imprint, doing some good things. Green Arrow. I know nothing about Green Arrow. I don't care about Green Arrow.
All right.
No, what are you talking about, man? That's the book that Amanda Waller's in. What are you talking about?
That's why it's on the list. That's what I was going to say. I don't know anything about Green Arrow. I don't care about Green Arrow. But I see the wall. The wall gets posted.
Green Arrow is an ally.
Sure.
Okay.
He is.
No, sure. Yes, he's an ally. But I put this here because Amanda Waller is one of DC Comics' greatest characters, in my opinion.
I have issues with allies, but go ahead.
Zoe Thorogood, Hack Slash, Back to School. I know nothing about this book, but that's a dope ass cover. Harriet
Right.
Tubman, Demon Slayer #6. Angel was just showing that off.
Yes.
Issue 5 was dope, so I'm looking forward to seeing issue 6. Shout out to David Crownson. This book I want to talk about. This is Invincible Iron Man 15. Now, the solicit, you got War Machine on the cover. The solicit says something about Rhodey. I didn't see Rhodey in the book. Maybe I got it wrong. But
And it says.
I question whether or not Rhodey's actually in this book. So just
it was a
before
trick.
you pull it off the shelf, make sure you look inside, make sure Rhodey's actually in the book.
They're tricking us.
It might be a bait and switch.
Yes.
Which often happens in Black History Month. They put our faces
On the cover.
books, and we have no agency inside the book. I refuse to do that any longer. I'm no longer buying books just because it has a dope black face cover and there's no black people inside the book.
According to that solicitor, he's that's the first name you see, James Rhodes.
Yeah, but just I would say look on the inside, make sure he's in there. I don't trust it. We mentioned Cody Ziegler, so he's writing 2 black superhero Spider-Men at the same time. Miles Morales and Hobie Brown. Cody Ziegler's doing the damn thing. Shout out to Cody Ziegler. Resurrection of Magneto, or as I like to call it, Storm and her buddy Magneto.
Tragic.
Written by Al Ewing. So it's a Storm book, but y'all ain't gonna buy it if it says Storm on the cover. So he figured out the Matrix and he calls it everything else other than Storm, but she's on all the covers and she's got the main lead of the story and everything surrounds her. It's a Storm book.
Storm.
And her little friends. Here's the book Angel just mentioned, Spider-Punk. Even the original cover is kind of dope.
Yeah, no, all those covers are sick.
Let's check out these covers. Let's check out these covers. Ooh, I already know. I don't even have to see the name. I know who this is. Olivier Coipel, the co-creator of Spider-Punk. Olivier Coipel. Yeah. It's like Richard always says. You know you're a dope artist when people know your art just by looking at it. They don't even have to see the name. They know it's you. That's him. He's literally one of my top 5 artists of all time, in my opinion. Love this guy.
Oh, that cover.
This is the Maria Wolf variant.
It's so vibrant.
Wow, there's a lot of energy in that.
Yes, they're bringing the A game with Hobie's covers.
The arms race one they don't have. Ooh, look at this.
And
Clayton Crane, exclusive Virgin variant.
Yeah, it's just brilliant.
That's gonna go for some paper.
They have one that's not a Virgin web store variant. But do you notice something in all these covers? He has his mask on.
Very true.
Can we not acknowledge that Hobie Brown is black?
No.
This is the only one. This Kara Andrews variant, look in a lot of little corner, little black and white picture of him.
I mean, listen.
Barely legible. That's his face.
I mean, it's the situation with that. I mean, look, he's Spider-Man. Spider-Man wear their masks.
I know, but he's a black Spider-Man. Here's your boy, Richard.
Junior Bach.
What artist is this, Richard?
It looks like, if I had to guess, yeah, that's Scotty Young.
Scotty Young.
I mean, his signature's right there.
Scotty Young. Yeah, that's a nice one. That's a nice one.
That's a dope. Oh, here's the color. Here's the full color version.
Yeah, that's Scotty Young.
That's dope.
That's gonna go for some money. Hey, that ain't gonna be cheap.
No.
Todd Knock always does these window variants.
Yeah.
Usually it has people peeping through the the window blinds. This one, the blinds are open, so that's kind of interesting.
He still got his mask on.
Still has his mask on.
Yeah, they're not gonna let him show his face unless it's in the
Well,
book.
you know, here's the thing though. Are we going to get Hobie from the Into the Spider-Verse movie, or are we going to get regular Hobie?
That's a good question.
Because the dreads and all that's not the Hobie from the comics.
It is not.
That was a whole new vibe that they did in the movie. So they may not want to disappoint y'all.
Look, it's one of those rare occasions where what goes up on the screen exceeds the original source material. And shout out to Daniel Kaluuya. For what I understand, the director gave him free reign to define Spider-Punk's style, his manner of speech, the Cockney that he is, the South London, Brixton sort of Cockney accent. So it really and truly, much the same way Chadwick Boseman was sort of given free reign to determine how he wanted to have his T'Challa character be defined, Daniel Kaluuya was given the same free reign to define who Spider-Punk was, and he did a brilliant job. His version is better than what you see in the comics, honestly.
Well, they do not show his face
in the entire book.
In the entire book, I'm almost done.
That's unacceptable.
Breezing through it.
That is wholly unacceptable.
That
is Marvel holding something back. Maybe it's because there's two versions, maybe they're holding back.
Oh, I did see a picture on the internet that he's going to have a new look. I'm not going to say what the new look is. I'm not going to spoil it. But he does have in answer to your question, Rich, he is going to have a markedly different look than what he had in the movie. That's all I'll say on that. Whether you choose to like it or not, I don't personally like it. I like this look in the movie better, but
there is a first panel with showing him remembering how his life began after the spider bite, but I'm not going to show that panel.
Spoiler alert.
Y'all need to buy the book because it's pretty badass.
And then finally, we have this Wolverine book. I put this on the list because of the writer, Victor Laval, the co-writer. Here he is over here. Victor Laval just finished a couple runs on Sabretooth and the Exiled in the Sabretooth series, which were brilliantly done. He also had, I love when writers pick more obscure characters and bring them into a book. He took Oya, the young mutant woman who controls fire and ice. He took Necra, the quote unquote vampire, black vampire, albino vampire. She's not either an albino or a vampire, but that's often how people reference her. Check out Blurred Without Fear's video on Necra. He did a really dope summation on her background. And then he created a new character called Third Eye. Well, it's not there. In that series as well. And these characters are showing up in this Wolverine book. Now, I'm a big Wolverine fan. I stopped collecting him a few years ago, but I started picking up this series in large part because Victor Laval was writing it, but also because this is one of the most action-packed, bloody, gory, violent stories of Wolverine I've ever read. And I've read a lot of Wolverine stories. I'm surprised Marvel even didn't put like a mature rating on this. It was so violent. It's pretty dope. So if you're a Wolverine fan, definitely check out this latest run. It's pretty cool. So those are our reads of the week. Let's check out what's going on in the chat.
Also Serious says, speaking of Black Panther, what do you think about Shirley Hinton taking on the book?
Where's that comment? Speaking of Black Panther, what do you think about Shirley Hinton taking what?
Well, she's doing Black Hunt. I mean, she's doing Blood Hunt. She's doing the one shot.
The Blood Hunt.
She's done some stuff online with Black Panther since I think November. Marvel, you have to have Marvel Unlimited. You know how Marvel has those digital only books.
Right.
She's doing that. So
for your $5.99 a month, you can have unlimited Marvel comics at your disposal.
Sound like a waste of money.
It's not. Like if there's obscure books, then you're like, hey, I heard this book is good. I need to see if I want to spend my money on it. You can go on my Marvel Unlimited. I use Marvel Unlimited all the time.
Ignorance is bliss.
I've had a subscription to Marvel Unlimited for a long time.
Oh, so you just don't even think about it.
I don't even think about it. It's like $6 a month. Who cares? Let's check out the rest of these comments here. Behind the scene, Dion says Jaguar was a fun book. So you have something to look forward to, Angel.
Okay.
Bodega Dash says, man, I saw this book and didn't pick it. Oh, you must be referring to the Jaguar book. Bo Big in the house. What's up, man?
Hello.
NBA Live Girl got that Kara Andrews variant. Of those variants, I probably want to get the Kara Andrews one. Not just because of the little black face in the corner, although a large part of that, but it's actually a pretty dope cover.
Please, guys, like the video. Please. If you're here, please go ahead and hit the like.
Like and share. Let people know.
What's up to Card Imperial? All right. So I got a new book in the mail today. And unfortunately, or fortunately, because I order so many books, I have no idea what this book is.
All right.
I'm going to open it up if I can get my handy dandy knife open. All right. So here we go. This book could be complete trash. I have no idea. It's heavy, though. It looks like it's several books. And it's really well wrapped. The anticipation. All right. What do we got here? It has white covers. What does that mean?
Cover protected.
Oh, cover protected. Oh, that's the thing now. Ooh.
Okay.
All right. Let me make myself big here.
But I know what that is. That's your Magnus books.
Man, why you gotta ruin this?
Right. So, my bad.
Ruins Christmas for everybody, man. Jesus. Yes, he is correct.
Wow, that cover is sick.
Shout out to Godhood and Wise Acre Comics.
Oh, wow.
I forgot I actually ordered this. Like, literally. And let's see. What's this one? So this is it issue numbers? Like, what's going on? I can't tell what the issue numbers are. I have no idea what
held up was 3.
I have no idea what issue number it is, but that's another one. That art is amazing. Is the interior art like that? It is.
Yeah, it's nice.
Oh, snap.
Oh, that's pretty nice. That's really nice.
Interior art is just as good as the cover. I wish, when's the last time I had a Marvel book say that? I don't have time to hit the shade alert.
That's a cover too.
Yo, I'm looking forward to reading this, man.
Yep.
Look at this art.
Yeah.
It's got black people in it.
Yeah.
When you finish with that, I want to say something about the books too, Paul.
Have you read it?
What you mean? Have I read it? I did a review. I did the recommendation last week. A couple weeks ago. You remember?
That must be
That's why you got the books.
That's why I bought the books, apparently, because you did a recommendation. Every time you every recommendation you've ever done, I've always bought the book.
Yeah. Go books.
Damn, I'm looking forward to reading this. Oh, that's dope, man. This artwork's spectacular. I am looking forward to that. Shout out to Wiseacre and Godhood Comics. Dope stuff.
So what I want to talk about while you were showing those books is because a lot of the independent books are starting to come like this, like you were saying.
Yes.
Here's the problem. They're sitting on the shelves just like this. So how do you know what's in here if you're walking in your shop and this is all you see?
Yeah.
So you do have to walk up to the book and open it to see what it is. I've been to shops where they're on the shelf like this. Shout out to Advent. Advent had some books on the shelf, and part of the issue I had with it was one, the shop that I was in, it was on the bottom shelf with this, so no one really could see what it is. The other thing is, like you said, if you're not aware that this book is in the shop, how do you know it's there?
Right.
No. So it's great that they put these covers on here, like these protectors on here. It's great that they want to protect the covers, but that's the change off, that you may not actually know what's on the shelf. Shout out to Advent. Advent does this. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. I was a little irritated because I went to the shop and I found some copies of Thorn.
Yeah.
Issues 1 and 2 on the shelf, not touched, on the bottom shelf. That book can't sell if it's not eye length. And think about it. It's on the bottom of a bookshelf, right? And it's got this cover on it. But I like my chances if it's eye level versus looking down and I'm just seeing a white cover.
Now, is that because your LCS organizes everything alphabetically, and alphabetically it's at the lower shelf?
Yeah, it's in there alphabetically, but again, still, Paul, we're talking about the human brain. It don't work that good sometimes. If I see this, I ain't thinking about buying this. I'm just being honest. Amani asks, are those covers removable? Yes, they are. They are removable.
The instructions are on there too.
Yep, on the back of it. On the back, it will tell you how to remove it. But again, this is and I'll be honest, I like this, but there is a trade-off. There is a trade-off. You know, which is why we say pre-order, pre-order, pre-order. Because again, if you pre-order this book, your book is going to come like this, but you know you got it in your box. If you just go into the shelf looking for something cool to read, and this is what you see, are you really going to pick this up?
Yeah,
probably not.
That's on the shops. They're supposed to remove at least one so you can know what it is.
Well, good luck with that. And who's to say that they don't? Because here's the thing: I've seen them on the shelf a number of ways. I've seen them like this on the shelf, like you said, you know, like this. But I've also seen them like this.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think
so. Shout out to all. Shout out all of y'all.
Someone had asked why they do that now. So what they're finding is that as artists rise in fame and notoriety, people want to keep the integrity and the perfection of the comic book. The big names could care less, but the smaller publishing companies, in order to build their resume, have the distributors make sure the dust covers, that's what it's called, the dust covers, to be on there for the top collectors who pay for signing, witness signing like CGC, or to get it slabbed, because the closer to perfection, the more valuable the book. So now they come with dust covers to keep the integrity of the comic book.
And for those of you who may be wondering, Angel knows what she's talking about because she is a CGC official.
Well, I'm a witness. I'm not. I'm not an official. I'm not like.
You're an official witness.
I'm a witness.
An official.
I think those covers should only come when it's pre-ordered. That's how they coming on the shelf, bro. That's how they come. So,
Amani asked, can't they put the titles on them or art?
No, it's just to protect the comic book. It has nothing to do with the comic book. It's put on after, actually.
And I'll be honest too. The shops that you're going. Here's the thing. The shops that I find, the independent, particularly the Black independent books, are shops that have like 50, 11 million different independent books. So your book is literally on the shelf with like 50 books on one shelf, and you got to thumb through them to see what's what. And so again, if you want to slab a book, you want that cover, that protection on that cover. You know, now again, that's the trade-off, because again, how can I recognize if I don't walk up to it and if I don't see it, what it is, I may miss it. I'll be honest. When I was at the shop and I picked up those Thorn books, I just happened to look at it real good, and I was able to kind of discern that was Thorn. I could see this kind of TH. I could make out some of the letters. So I picked it up. But if I would just been like step back, real far back, and was just scanning, I would just walk right past and not even know.
See, this is why I say Texas has the best shops. You can't even find Thorn on the shelves in my LCS. It was there for like the first week, and then it disappeared because I guess they only ordered a certain amount of copies.
Right.
And now it's gone.
Well, that was the thing, Paul. I didn't even know that the LCS I went to and found them, I didn't even know they had it.
Yeah, but at least your LCS had it.
Yeah.
Texas does it bigger and better.
I mean, look,
I have those books because I pre-ordered them. So
I gotta say, I will put our shops here in Dallas Fort Worth. I will put our shops up against any shops in the country.
Imani throws the gauntlet down and says Ohio's better.
Well, that's good.
That's not exactly what he said.
But see, Imani is also a independent Black business owner who's in the business.
Imani put Ohio in capital letters, so I thought he was kind of throwing the gauntlet down and saying, "Your shop's saying nothing."
It said there are no Black independent tiles on the shelves at my LCS.
Yeah.
And don't forget, the only Black-owned shop in Texas is owned by Brian Kennedy in Houston, Gulf Coast Cosmos. So yeah, there's a little history there.
Cool. So what else you guys got?
Oh, I know what we want to talk about. I want to talk about a real live superhero.
Ooh, go.
I saw a clip of a real Black superhero toss some grown men around like a doll. I thought they were kids.
Wow.
Shout out to Cam Newton. Listen, Cam Newton is a real live superhero in Atlanta. I saw Cam Newton throwing it. I thought it was a child.
I would play the video, but I get us in trouble again.
No, please don't play the video. But shout out to him and shout out to his hat game. He did all that. His hat stayed on his head. I was like, I ain't mad at that. Shout out to Cam Newton. Yeah. That was interesting. But yeah, dear black people in Atlanta, can we please have something for the kids without y'all you grown-ups getting into it and fighting?
No.
I'm just saying, man. We can't Wakanda now. That's what they call Atlanta. They call Atlanta Wakanda. Y'all can't be having that going on in Wakanda, okay? Yeah, y'all stop it. Let's see. Jeff Rocker said Kim held it down. Yeah, he did. He did. Listen, Cam Newton is like 6'5", 6'6", 250. You can't see that, bro. He threw one dude like a rag doll. I was like, bruh, Cam is just out of line. I thought it was some teenagers. What is he doing? He might need your services, Paul. He might need a good lawyer.
Cam can afford lawyers that are far better than me. I assure you.
Deborah, I said this young generation sucks. No, kids are kids. We gotta show the baby some love. They throw that, but you're right. They are thrown. I'll say that about them. But no, those were two grown men. They were coaches. Let's make that distinction. They were not kids. They just, when you 6'6" or 6'5", 250, and an average dude, 150 pounds, 5'9", 5'10", maybe. It's gonna look a little crazy. So I thought it was a WWE brawl or something. Shoot, yeah, man. Cam ain't no joke. Y'all better leave Cam alone. What Cam do? What Cam do when he get to the end zone? He knew he was playing ball. He pull his chest out like he show that Superman. That's the real Superman.
I guess that does make him a superhero. He does do the Superman thing. I want to talk about something that dropped today that I saw that I thought was really, really, really dope. Iwaju on Disney Plus. Look here. I watched the first episode right before I got on this show.
Okay.
With my daughter. She wanted to watch Moon Girl because we've been watching one episode of Moon Girl every day. But I said, let's try something different. So this show, the premise is that this is Lagos, Nigeria in the future.
Oh yeah, I saw the trailer for that.
This show is literally Wakanda. I mean, literally Wakanda. It's like an everyday life of Wakanda, and it stars this little girl, her buddy over there. Her dad's like, a big muckety muck guy, and it's really a story about a little girl and her father. So I didn't even know that's what the story was about when I decided to watch it with my daughter. But it was just a moment because I saw so much of my daughter in this little girl and the way she's interacting with her father. Really dope show. I would strongly encourage all of you to watch the show. Even if it's not your cup of tea, if you have a Disney Plus subscription, turn it on, put it on automatic, play the next episode, and let it play in the background while you're doing something else. I'm surprised a show like this even got made and put on the Disney platform, which tends to be a lot more mainstream.
Can we keep it real though, Paul? That wasn't even promoted?
It was not. It was not. That's one of the reasons why. I mean, I found out by a tweet the show dropped today. This show, this was a really good show. The animation is spectacular. The visuals are incredible. I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the acting.
Mm-hmm.
It was immersive. I want to live in this world.
Aww.
This advanced Lagos, Nigeria world was so dope. I was like, damn, I wish I could live there. If you want to eat, just the concept of having a show with all black faces in it on Disney Plus, an animated show. We talk about
You don't have that show. You don't have that show in your house. It's all black faces in your house.
In your house.
Well, we talk about
Just say-
in this space all the time how when we were coming up, how you get into comics
Oh, absolutely.
is
Yeah, no
through
doubt.
cartoons, right?
Yeah. Right.
And having cartoons like this did not exist when I was a kid.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Did not exist.
Nope.
So these images, these impressions that this gives on kids, it's important. And you want Disney to make, you want all companies to make more stuff like this. Positive images of black people, original black people. They're not trying to be like black versions of some other characters, you know. These are all original characters. Set in Lagos, Nigeria. This is where it's at.
That's what's up.
So really encourage everybody, seriously, to like watch the show. Let it play in the background. Let Disney see the hits on it and let it do well. Because I want more content like this.
Okay.
That's my PSA, my BCL PSA of the week.
Message. We did get a super chat.
We did.
Bo Big in the building.
Bo Big
thank you, Bo.
in the house.
Thank you.
Salute.
Salute to you, sir. Thank you very much.
Donation. It's a donation. I thought it was the trash. Don't be hitting on me.
Thank you.
Imani just followed it up too.
Oh,
Followed up by
Let's go.
Amani is trying to not be outdid. Amani, for your $4.99, I'm going to give you my favorite super chat.
That's what's up.
Thank you very much, sir.
So
Anyone else got super chat money for us?
there you
We
go.
got bills to
Don't
pay.
get greedy. Don't get greedy, Paul. Don't get greedy.
This
He
website
did
does
have
not
a question
pay for
though.
itself.
He did have a question earlier. He was asking about was anybody reading Ministry of Compliance by Voldemort?
Who?
And I am reading it. I am enjoying it. It's a good book. I know somebody on here will, you know, the only other male on the show. he kind of shading it, but you know, it's a good book. It is a good book. It's a good book. Anything. Listen, it's sisters, it's swords. I mean, I'm there. It's action. I'm there. Shout out to John Ridley. But you know what, Paul? I had a conversation behind the scenes, and I'm not going to reveal what was spoken behind the scenes, but we talked about your guy.
My guy?
Well, your guy, T'Challa,
Yeah.
and the Black Panther. And we stumbled upon a jewel, a thought. If I told you that that run that a lot of people detest, that run really is
You
the
about to say
reason why
something
we got the run we got. The reason why we got the run the way we got it is gonna blow your mind. We're gonna talk about that later. That's something that we're gonna, you know, I promise you. All you Black Panther fans are gonna want to be around for this. I had a dope discussion with
How
a
you
Black
gonna leave
Panther
a cliffhanger like that and say we're gonna talk about it later? When?
Hey, you gotta come back. Gotta come back.
Come on, man.
man, these cans of worms, man.
We gotta come. I gotta give you a reason to come back. We might do it on.
I don't know if
We
that's
might
really
do it on
true.
Paul. We might do it on Paul and Mark's show on Friday, or we may do it on my show. But I'm telling you, we got some.
can't bring that.
We got some Black Panther tea, and this tea is hot. I
Whatever.
promise you,
Alright,
it's hot. It's hot.
Whatever.
And you know what? When we talk about it, Paul, you're gonna be like, first it's gonna blow your mind, and then you're gonna be like, how come I ain't think of that? Like, sometimes you can't see the forest, all the trees. That's all I'm gonna
I
say.
believe when I see, man. I believe when I see it. I can't find anything positive to spit off of that run.
Shout out to Voldemort.
Voldemort.
He doesn't get shout outs. Don't give that man shout outs. Behind the scenes says he should start a comic book called The Blue Panther.
You talking about Cam Newton? Yeah.
Wow.
That's funny. So they were talking about frustrated. There was a few comments earlier. They were talking about the initiative that Disney was doing. Yeah, there it is. But remember, Disney had that African initiative that they were going to do more titles done by African creators.
Yeah, I think that's that if you look here, let me pull it up again. If you look at the top of the title, the trade, it says Disney, and next to it, Kugali. I think that's the initiative. It's called Kugali. Yeah. It's like a partnership between Disney and this company called Kugali. I don't know what Kugali is. I suspect it's an animation.
Well, Frustrated had to comment. He says Kugali is the studio that they were using for that initiative.
Right.
So, yes.
More titles done by African creators. I'm here for it.
And Imani says Kugali is a juggernaut.
Yeah. I mean, look, the animation was on point. I mean, we're talking damn near Pixar level, DreamWorks level animation. Very immersive. Very immersive. I need this same studio that made this series just full on do like a superhero show or sci-fi show in space or something, because it was.
According to Imani, he says that Kugali started as a comic book publishing company.
Yes.
Wow. I need more information on that.
Yeah, and if you go to their website, they do have free digital comics.
On what website?
Kugali.
A word? Okay. I like Dion's comment. Disney has officially planted the flag on Afrofuturism. Will be interesting to see if other studios hop in. I mean, real facts. The first Black Panther film opened the door on Afrofuturism to the world. Everyone knows Afrofuturism has been around since the 70s, as a concept. But nobody knew what that meant until they saw Black Panther, and then all these writers have been writing on this for decades.
Whoa!
What?
We just got a super chat from Wise Acres Comics.
We did?
Yes.
God damn.
Wise Acre Comics. Thank you.
Appreciate the love. Dust covers.
Comics. Appreciate it, man.
He says, listen what he says. Appreciate the dust covers will only come on orders from the store, but once we start distributing through Diamond, they will not have the dust covers. Loving the show. Hey. Well, salute, man. You guys have some dope product.
We need to get you on the show. Let me finish reading these 4 issues.
Oh no, he's part of the initiative. He's a part of the whole squad that's going to be doing the big project.
You're having conversations about stuff we talked behind the scenes. Again, the two of y'all always talk about stuff we talk about behind the scenes. Leave Black Comic Lord's business in the business department. Don't talk about it in the live.
Why are you dragging me into this?
Wiseacre Comics.
Because he can't drag me really. He needs some help. He needs help.
We would love, as part of the upcoming initiative, to have you on the show. I need an opportunity to finish reading these 4 issues. If you got more, send them our way. Be happy to read them. And let's talk about it. Because in the 2 seconds I was looking at it, I'm incredibly excited to read these books. They look fantastic. The paper quality is perfect. The art is fantastic. It's better than what I'm seeing in the mainstream right now, and I want people to know about it. So when you have the opportunity, please hit us up in our Gmail, blackcomiclords@gmail.com, and let's arrange for a chat, please.
And you just talk business in front of our, but okay.
You dragged it into it. You opened the door. You kicked the door open. Look, let me just super chat.
Ain't nothing like some mumble rap to set it off.
It's just an invite. That's all.
That's a good question. Look, that's a good point, Rich. Like, do you have a better song from that you would like?
For me?
We can do a super chat video. We'll do a better super chat video with the song that you like.
Okay.
You got to pick one though.
Okay.
Money, 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 money.
Bison for life, though. I want to get to his comment. He says, sorry, my super chat was screwed up. Are you guys doing a con later this summer? So glad you asked. Yes, we are. Late summer.
Damn.
In August.
I wish I had a video promo to show you.
We hadn't got it yet. We haven't got it yet. But we will be.
Greg Burnham.
We will be in Norfolk, Virginia at Atlantic Comic Con. August the 17th, 18th, I believe that's when it is.
17th, 8th August.
Right? Yeah. So Black Comic Lords will be in the building for sure.
And we need y'all to be there too, because everybody gonna be there. Everybody gonna be there. And if you don't show up,
I'm gonna be incognito. I'm gonna go like Kanye West. I'm gonna go full mass.
I'll tell you what. If you do that, I'm coming with a flashlight. I'm gonna shine it directly on you and say, "I see you, Rich. I see you, bro."
I'm gonna have a full black stocking mask. Oh my!
No, that will just make you look like a terrorist, and you'll get arrested. So don't do that.
Frustrated said I'll be there. Yeah, that's what's up.
It's a juggernaut.
Yep.
Rich has some good act breaks.
Hey, that's what's up.
Paul needs to get over it. You can't say support Black creators and you're not support. Okay, frustrated. This is not a discussion you want to have with me. Can we keep it positive? Support Black creators. If you look at any of the videos I've done on this man, I was throwing full support behind his past endeavors because he's a good writer. You'll never find me say the guy is not a good writer. He's a very good writer. But he chose to write a trash version of the Black Panther. He chose that because his work before and apparently, according to Rich, afterward is such that proves the fact that he is indeed.
We need. I need to be like Herschel and interrupt you and do like the dude from London. I got you now.
The dude made a conscious decision to write a trash version. I know that because we know that he's capable of writing far better than what he did. So that's a decision that he chose to make. The fact that you have an Esquire article explaining his political views on Black folk reminds me in response to say, not all skin folk is kinfolk. And that's what I got to say on that.
Wait a minute, hold up now.
I'm
not ready to trade off John Ridley to the racial Olympics. I'm not ready for that trade yet.
I'll trade him. I'll trade him for Al Ewing. Does anyone disagree?
Wow. You know what?
No one's gonna disagree.
Al, keep writing your books, but you can't come to the cookout though, according to Paul. We put a moratorium on
Al Ewing gets a aluminum foil covered plate delivered to his house. You can't come.
Bodega Dash says positive images of people of hue is life given to us as a people. Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. But listen, guys, I will say this. It's good to have these images in your long boxes and then on your television screen. But I'm going to encourage you to have, as much as you have comic book stuff, make sure you have some pictures of your people on your walls in your house, because those images are just as important as it is for a kid to see Nubia or any other character. Have some pictures up. I had a friend, my dad had a friend named Willie Mack. No, he's a Black guy, right? But Willie Mack did not allow his kids to put up any posters of any superheroes in the wall of his home. Instead, he made a picture of himself, a poster picture of himself, and put it in his kid's room. The only image they got to see was their father. And growing up, we saw that because he literally did that. And I just got a big laugh out of that. But those kids, they grew up to really adore their father. So it's good to just have yourself. You know, we sometimes we look for people to give us images or whatever. We have the images in our own home. You just got to be willing to put your own stuff up. It's like Angel. Angel's a very melanated, beautiful black woman. I hope you got a picture of yourself on your wall, Angel. You got pictures of your house, of yourself in your house.
I do not.
See, you got some work to do. You got some work. Until then, we got a super chat. Hey,
what? Oh, damn!
Oh,
I just spoke to John Really, and he said he dedicated the vows.
Oh,
wow.
Wow.
Oh, Lord.
That's good.
Look,
That's good.
Look, real talk. That Val Zod story in the DC Power. That was he who shall not be named speaking his own viewpoints. That was him. He was speaking from the heart. And it's telling that when he says, you know, all of you people, he means you and I, judge me and say I'm not good enough. Or so he says something along the lines of that. And in the next panel, he's kissing Power Girl.
Yes.
You know,
that summarizes all you need to know about it.
I mean, but look, that's one of those things, though. I mean, Paul, love is love. Isn't it love is love?
Sure.
I mean, look. Listen.
He's gonna make me say something so plain.
But first,
you know what? Go on, Angel. We need a good Angel. We need a good Angel clap back tonight.
After the super chat. Look at that. Bombay by a beautiful black woman.
Yes. Yeah, we have love and then we have proximity chasers. So there's that.
Wow. I have never heard Angel throw shade like, oh my God, where's the shade alert button? What the hell just happened? I wasn't even ready for it. I can't even find it.
That was good. Well, I heard that, boy. That was a shot. Woo.
I like to tell the truth.
Keep it 1,000. All right, man. Yeah. That's what's up. Brooklyn says that black love and comics are near non-existent. Now, Monty wants to link to that Esquire article.
Wait, hold on.
See, look what you started. Look what you started. Look what you started.
Look, Angel drops a 10 out of 10 shade. I gotta drop a shade alert. Sorry, I apologize. I'm sorry. Continue what you were saying, Rich.
Well, I warned first. I did warn first.
I wasn't ready. I didn't know it was gonna be a 10 out of 10.
Funny. That's funny. That is funny. But Brooklyn says black love in comics are near non-existent.
What are you seeing these comments?
On the chat. In the chat.
I'm looking in the chat. I don't see that.
I'm looking at Pericles. Pericles says bad writing and bad editorial. I'm not sure what that's referring to.
He's referring to that Black Panther run that I don't like to talk about.
Oh. Well, you know, I mean,
Imani wants a link to the Esquire article. I'll have to.
You know, why?
Esquire and the dude's name, it pops right up, and throw in the word nigger. Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
You know what?
Well, that's the title of his article.
Okay.
Yakuma says people need to read Black Indies more.
Yes. There's a lot of family and love in the Indies.
Yes, absolutely.
Bison says to you, Angel, he'd love to hear you discuss grading process that you witnessed. What's a sigh? Wait, what's happening?
But
Angel is fully bothered tonight.
Well, no, it's just that there are some things that can't be talked about without licensing and permission. So
Angel is obviously asked this question quite often.
I have to get clarification. I don't think I'm allowed to talk about the actual process. I'll have to refer you to the CGC website.
Yup.
That's all she's got to say on that.
Now, somebody asked, said y'all need to get Rodney Barnes down to Florida.
Oh, he was already down here seeing Billy Joel and hanging out in Tampa, and then he went back home.
Oh, he came down for the concert.
Boy, I tell you, you know what? I almost let go some backstage news.
Hey, Jeffrey Thorne in the house. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Hello, Thorne.
What's going on? Man, boy, you and Hershey took an L. I'm gonna just say that. I'm gonna just say that y'all took an L. Y'all took a major L.
Me and Herschel in the same sentence? How do we?
Yes, you and Hershey took an L.
On what?
Yes. Clarify, please.
MegaCon.
Oh man, how you gonna bring that up, man? I'm still bitter about that.
No, you are. You are.
You're bitter about it, but you didn't say why you're bitter about it.
You don't trust me. Trust me, Angel. You don't need that tea. This is for our eyes only. But when you do hear the tea,
why you keep bringing up our laundry and our business on the live? I don't.
Because maybe I just really want to drag y'all.
I'm still bitter about that.
I don't know what the bitterness is from.
Woo.
Oh God in heaven, why do
All I'm gonna say, ladies and gentlemen, our lives are full, and when your life is full, you can best believe something is going to get away from you. So my advice is do it. And the prophetess Erykah Badu, she said, pack light on Bag Lady. Pack light. Because when you got a lot of luggage, you're going to drop something. Ain't that right, Paul?
Oh, okay. Now you really got to let me know. And sorry I missed you, Jay. We were in the far right corner by the pros. So.
Now, Angel, God bless you, sister. At least you were there.
Wow.
Of course.
Okay, so to explain Rich's constant shade towards me.
Yes, let's hear it.
Give me a drink.
Yeah, take a drink.
I'm listening.
I handle, in my role in the Black Comic Lords, many of the business aspects of BCL. Hence the title, the CEO.
HNIC.
One of the things I rely on to conduct my business is going through emails to make sure that business is conducted.
Yes.
But we all have access to the email account.
Okay.
Someone who shall remain nameless opened up an email on a project I'd worked on to get the Black Comic Lords into MegaCon in an official capacity.
Oh.
They opened the email, read it, left it as opened, and did not tell me about it.
Oh.
Hence, I did not see the email until today.
Oh.
Dear Black Comic Lords, we would like to extend the red carpet to you and give you this and that and give you access to this and have the opportunities to do this and this.
Oh.
They could have went to MegaCon.
We can't wait to have you here.
For free.
We have passes for you for all 4 days.
That makes sense.
Looking forward to having the Black Comic
heard
Lords at MegaCon, the third largest con in the world.
Black Comic Lords, so.
And I did not see it until today because one of these fool Bamas, as Rich would say, decided to open my email
Are you serious?
and did not tell me about it.
Oh, oh. I saw it. All I'm gonna say is I saw the message. I just shook my head. I was like, wow.
That's serious because good luck.
You think, Angel? You think it's serious?
That's serious.
I'd like to say I'm exaggerating. I'm not.
Well,
They gave us everything. They gave us everything we asked for.
Oh.
but they did.
It did. All I'm gonna say is somebody sent a text and say, "Oh, lesson learned." Like, really?
Yes.
Yeah. It was the response was, "Oh, my bad."
All I'm gonna say, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters.
You know, I am not a person that has a lot of free time. I have a
Oh
day
my
job and a life that takes up
Yes.
a good at least 16, 18 hours of my day.
Mm.
The Black Comic Lord stuff I squeeze in where I can. So I try to be as efficient and productive with the time that I have for my Black Comic Lord activities as I can, and stuff like this kind of undermines those efforts.
Yep.
I will say this. That was, lesson learned. Like that really was the truth. Lesson learned. However, suffice to say that, hey, we all got to do better. So in our lives, we get busy. I'm not one to point fingers. I'm too busy. My wife looked at me crazy when I told her I was doing a show tonight with Paul and Angel. She just like, really? And mind you, I had only been home like 10 minutes. I wolfed down some chicken and said, got to go do a show.
Frustrated. You pretty much, bro. Pretty much. Very much so.
Oh my God.
Listen, our life is a carousel. What can you say?
I tried to
Bison
help.
for Life. It says, Rich, as a pastor, have you read religious comics? If so, thoughts on the level of art and story? I have, and I do. I'll show you something.
Remember what I told y'all last week? Whenever you see Rich turn sideways or turn his back to the camera like that, he's about to come back with some fire.
This is actually written. I mean, actually,
you gotta make him big.
Illustrated. The guy's name is. I'll show you this. But he's a black creator. Yeah, Dr. Darren Bell. Dr. Darren Bell is a artist, and he writes a book, or he draws a book called Dominion. Now, this is the second book.
The cover art's beautiful.
That's beautiful.
This is the second book, and this is actually a book based on the story of Saul. Saul from the Old Testament, not Saul not Paul, but Saul. Yeah, not that guy, the first guy. So here's some pictures of the art. I'll show it to you. So this is pretty top-notch level.
That artwork's dope.
Yeah. So
look at Frustrated's comments to you.
Clearly, Richard Storage unit is on the floor behind him. No. Where you at, Paul? Wait, get my girl to answer him. Give my girl to answer him. Say no.
Where's
But no, for real.
Oh no.
Yeah, so Darren Bell is one guy that I check out, and he does fantastic stuff. There are others, but I do, and actually I want to at some point, maybe before the year's out, do a show about comics and faith. Because there are a lot of guys that do a lot of different books and stuff, but it's just a matter of getting my ducks in a row to do it.
You mean,
But
you
yeah.
mean like Todd McFarlane and Spawn?
No, I'm talking about faith. I'm not talking about anti-faith. This guy.
Not that I'm super religious, but the stuff I read in Spawn is what caused me to stop reading Spawn.
Yeah,
I was like,
I mean,
my
look,
ancestors don't appreciate this.
I
Yeah.
love it.
I mean, well, here's the thing. Spawn, when it started to hover around the hundreds, it got real, very sacrilegious.
No, that's exactly correct.
And which I'm not sure. I don't 100% know this, but I suspect that McFarlane is probably an atheist. From the standpoint that the things he said in that book were very, very, very sacrilegious. And so I'm like, okay, I can't rock with you on this, Uncle Todd. I'm gonna take my toys and go elsewhere. And I did for a while. And again, I came back to the run or whatever. And the book is very good right now. The whole Spawn universe is great.
It is lit. I love it.
And here's the thing too. Spawn took a hit when he started to go in that direction. Because if you go and look at the print numbers of some of those books from say like 100 to like 220, 230, and then he killed off Al Simmons. Everybody forgets that part. There was another Spawn.
There was one issue in particular, and that was the breaking point for me, because I'd been collecting Spawn since issue 1.
Mm-hmm.
I had that issue 1. I got it signed by Todd McFarlane in the con, but there was an issue where I think they had a portrait of God himself, and it was like F God or something like that. It was like some really bombastic statement that was in the comic book. And I was like, oh no, this I feel the paper burning in my hands. I can't support this comic any longer.
Yeah. And you know what's weird? There are a lot of books I come across, a lot of different books, whatever, and you'll see things in them. Be like, really, man, y'all going this far? It's like people's moral compass. And I get a lot of times the thought is, you try to prove a point, but in proving your point, it's like you feel like you need to insult the object of your angst, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it's called trolling. We have a lot of experience.
Yeah, well, that's a whole lot of troll. So, but I just know that I couldn't, like you, Paul, I just could not consciously continue to buy that book because I just saw it going in a dark place. And like I say, those print runs got real low. That's why a lot of those books are worth a lot of money because they're rare. A lot of people didn't mess with Spawn. Now I congratulate McFarlane from being able to keep the ship afloat. And look, McFarlane doesn't make his money. He does not make his money on comics.
Nope.
It's clear. He makes his money on toys.
Yes, indeed.
And there are so many, and they're nice.
Yes.
Speaking of McFarlane toys.
Yeah. I mean, that dude, listen, Todd's toys, that guy ain't no joke.
They're exceptional. The
detail he puts on these things is crazy.
Even the articulation on some of them are just brilliant.
Yep. And and what's weird too is that when somebody asks me how do I describe Spawn as a comic, I tell them it's a horror comic, but it's a love story. It's a love story. It's got some sick, crazy things, twisted things in it. But at the end of the day, it's about a dude that went to hell and basically decided to be hell's general just to see his wife again.
Yeah.
But the problem is his wife hooked up with his boy and had a baby. I'm like, if that ain't the devil. Yeah, so let's look at some of these comments, man. Where we at?
Rich knows his Spawn because Simmons did come back after his replacement.
Yep.
He did.
He made a figure of himself. McFarlane did a figure of himself?
What?
That's crazy.
McFarlane figure.
Best book from today's NCD in my mind was The Savage Sword of Conan from Titan Comics throwback. Yeah.
Is that the book you were talking about
No,
earlier, Paul?
that was the one I was talking about was Conan the Barbarian. Savage Sword is
Okay.
a new book that just came out, and it's done in an old style from like the magazine style.
Well, you know, that's the thing about Conan. Conan is actually what they call it, open domain. What is it?
Public domain.
Public domain. So you could write a Conan book if you want.
Yeah. Maybe Milestone can call up Todd and get some toys out there for us.
Bro, you know what? Look, shout out to Milestone for just celebrating 31 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
I actually did a tweet on that where I saw someone post a custom icon action figure. And I tagged both Marvel and Todd McFarlane and say, y'all can't, no, not Marvel, Milestone and Todd McFarlane, and said, this is long overdue. This is just some random guy who did a custom figure and it looks outstanding. Imagine what Todd McFarlane could do. It's long overdue. They should have done that, man. Don't get me started. Milestone Ben should have had action figures made.
Man, could you imagine what you could do with the Milestone brand static, just the static stuff alone?
Yeah. Merch. That's where the money's at. Make some merch, man. How difficult? I don't understand what the business hold up is on them merchandising stuff. How do you not have merch? It doesn't make sense. I mean, whatever deal they entered into is really kicking them in the ass.
Well, it could be that they just are struggling and it's not DC at all.
I don't necessarily know if it's just DC. I think it was also I know for a long time they had a lot of litigation with Dwayne McDuffie's widow, if I'm not mistaken, over those rights. Everyone's got licensing issues, and you know, I was the creator of this, so I need to get a cut type issues. So it's a shame that they weren't able to work out those legal issues, because it really held back the brand from doing what it could do.
I agree.
I mean, you'd rather quibble over dollars over getting. I mean, you could have nothing, which is what we have. No one's getting paid anything.
McFarlane says, I mean, comics are dope. McFarlane did a New 52 static last year. It sucked.
No.
Well, it's New 52. No,
I didn't buy that figure. I'm a big Static fan. I didn't buy that figure. There's only one Static figure that's worth getting, and that's the Icon version.
Yeah, that one. Oh, I like that one.
That's the real Static. Everything else is just imitated. That's the one. And look, authentic. Looks absolutely like the one from the comic. Minus the jacket.
No, hold on a second. Pericles says RB made Chapel Spawn killer again. I figured Rodney Barnes made Chapel Spawn's killer again. Figured there'd be rights issues considering Rob Liefeld no longer owns the rights to any of the characters related to Youngblood.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
So he sold them to Image Comics. Who owns Image? Todd McFarlane, right?
Yeah.
Yes, he's the CEO.
The CEO. Oh, yeah.
He brought up the last issue of Philadelphia where they kind of remind Chapel, was responsible for killing Al Simmons in the book. And I thought that was that was some major shade. Rodney Barnes be doing he be doing it, boy.
Frustrated said, "Oh, did you see that Rodney Barnes put the history of Chapel killing Spawn back in Image history?"
Yes.
Yeah.
When did that happen?
It was in the book.
No, which book?
The last issue,
33
of Philadelphia.
Yeah.
33.
I haven't read. It just came out. I haven't read it yet.
You mean you hadn't read it yet? Just came out, bro.
No,
that's a couple weeks, bro. What are you doing?
The history of Chapel killing Spawn.
Oh, I got it.
You hadn't read the book. You got too many books, bro.
The last issue I read was 32.
33 is out.
Yeah, I haven't read 33 yet. The last one I read was 32. Yep, in the last Philadelphia issue. So I haven't read it yet. So spoiler alert. I guess I know what's going to happen in that book now.
He says, didn't they replace Chapel with Jessica Priest a while back? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And it's weird too, man. The way I don't. Have you guys read Spawn 350?
I started reading. I haven't finished it. It's a big book. It's a thick book.
Yeah. I won't spoil it for nobody, but just to suffice to say that I didn't really like how it ended, but the next issue 351 is supposedly like 6 months later. So what you're getting in 350 is kind of like the end of a story arc, overall story arc, because it's also a part of the Scorch, King Spawn, Gunslinger Spawn is almost by itself, well, actually pretty much is, but yeah. So Jessica Priest, or She Spawn, I guess you can say now, she's featured more or less in the Scorch book. So yeah.
They better hurry before 3D printing gets more. Man, I would love to have a 3D printer. I just making action figures all day and statues.
Y'all be putting y'all trust and confidence in that AI. Y'all better be paranoid.
Look, AI is listening to you right now and laughing at you.
I know.
Ronnie Barnes made Chapel Spawn killer again. I figured he'd be rights issues considering Rob Liefeld. Okay. Comics are dope. Yeah, that fact that the Google's translation was bad. Yeah.
Bison for life. Oh, this is what? Static Toe stood toe to toe. It's the best superhero cartoons of all times. Static Toe line with Blood Syndicate would be killer.
Yeah, it would. There's just money being left on the table. They just
whole lot of money.
I'm Team Velez though. Yeah, Velez is being done wrong right now, man.
We'll just say their hands are tied.
Man, we need to put them people in their life. I'm just keeping it 100 with you. Put them people in their life.
Oh, Bison for Life's comment's not nice.
Yeah, I know DW has been going through issues.
Yeah, shout out to Dave Walker. He's having some issues with his mom.
Yeah.
Some issues I can definitely identify with. So trust me, bro. I know what you're going through. AI equals Skynet for real. AI is Skynet. Are you interested in that new Doom one shot by Jonathan Hickman and Sanford Green? Of course. You had me at Sanford Green. That's all you got to say, and I'm gonna buy it.
Well, I know Jonathan.
There's a couple of comments here. Philly Born says, "Good evening. Has anyone received the new Black Cotton season 2 yet?"
No. Let me ask someone. Where's the book?
No, I think you know what we need to do, Paul.
We need to bring Brian back on the show.
We need to create a milk carton meme. Like, have you seen this book?
Wow.
Put Bitterroot, Black Cotton, Excellence. All of y'all getting. Oh, I thought it was hilarious, man. When I put in the Facebook group, talking about Milestone. I was really surprised at the people that were trying to defend Milestone, and I'm like, y'all, it's not just me. I know I ain't the only one tripping. This is the gold standard. Everybody's trying to catch up. And here's the thing: if they don't get in the game like they're supposed to, Concrete, Advent, Godhood, Wiseacre, somebody's gonna take that spot.
You know what? If it happens, it happens. It's been 30 years, so it's overdue for the spot to be taken.
Yeah.
It's been 30 years. Milestone still has the best comics that were ever made, in my opinion. And the fact that that's 30 years ago, as of a couple days, 31 years ago, as of a couple days ago, that says that that's not good.
I tell you, if
Someone Ben should have
any of
claimed
these,
by now.
if any of these guys get, I mean, you know how you guys can probably relate to this. Have you ever, at your job and what you do at work, have you ever got into a mode where you were really just rocking? I mean, I'm talking about where you just churning it out. It's literally flawless. If any of these independent Black companies get in that mode, because that's what Milestone they did. They were a machine. And I made the point to tell them the goal for Milestone was to have a book in the store every week, a new book in the store every week. You got Icon one week, you got Static one week, you got Blood Syndicate one week, you got Hardware another week. Right. They had the whole month covered. And that went on for a full 3-4 years. I'm like, that's a machine. That's when you really got, I mean, I'm like, Brian Hill, Rodney Barnes, I love Jeffrey Thorne stuff, Christopher Priest. There's a few guys that can churn out books like that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If these guys get somebody on they squad that can churn out material like that, it's a wrap, bro. It's a wrap.
Now, the Frustrated makes a good point. He says, Boom and Image are doing so many Black comics that they are already moving it forward. That's 100% true. The difference is, because look, indies in general, a lot of these indie publishers are putting out really quality Black content. They're putting Black creators on, they're putting Black characters on, but unfortunately, the majority of those indie publishers aren't owned by us either. That's what makes Milestone number one, still number one after 31 years, is because it has the perfect combination of owning the licensing to your IP.
Yep.
Having original dope characters that weren't tied. And then you had top tier talent, not just a couple guys saying, hey, let's put out a comic book. They had a whole squad of top tier talent, and they identified young talent and put them on that was blazing hot, because people were like,
I mean, they did have the Milestone Initiative.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Look, bro, I guess
they did it right. They did the whole thing right, and no one's emulated that formula. They gave everyone the formula. No one's emulated it. You need to have some top tier Black talent say, hey, let's get some money together. Let's put together a company. And thing is, Herschel mentioned this the other day. There are avenues in which you can put out books. You just need to create the book. You don't need to publish the book. They got Indie Planet right here in Orlando.
I like Jeffrey Thorne's comment right here.
They have to put us on the field, though. They have to put us on the field, though. Yeah.
You know what I was thinking about doing? I was thinking about actually going back and rereading Mosaic and do a deep dive into Mosaic, and with the possibility of, maybe we need to start getting at Marvel with some of these characters, bro. If they just letting languish.
That's interesting. That's an interesting thing. So, I was thinking about this. Someone made a comment a few weeks ago. I don't remember if it was on Twitter or Facebook or something. And they said, can the Black comic lords start a petition for these big companies to do the stuff that we want? I don't know. How much power do we have? How much power and influence do we have? I don't know. Us individually, no. But I think collectively, if we could galvanize enough people together, I wonder if we could actually push the needle somehow. At the end of the day, these are businesses. The only thing that pushes the needle is money.
Money.
But that's, going back to my point about that Kugali television show. I don't know. I'm welcome to ideas. It would be wonderful, as I said, for a bunch of the top Black talent to come together, Image style, Milestone style, Ghost Machine style, and put their own company together and do it way big again. Maybe what Tony Cottrell is doing with this Epiphany movement thing might lead to a couple of these companies, several of these companies coming together and say, hey, you know what? This was a dope project. Let's do it big. Let's do it Milestone style. Let's do it Image style. Let's put our egos to the side and try to do something really special and big. One could only hope. It's been 31 years.
I'll tell you what, man. I'm sitting here flipping through the pages of this book here. Fantastic Four Unlimited.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at your mans in the back.
That was art by Paul Ryan, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Well, actually, it's Dave Hoover.
Dave Hoover. Oh.
Yeah. Charles Barnett, the inker, and Frank Lopez on the color. Tom DeFalco was the editor-in-chief. Roy Thomas was the writer. This is the Black Panther tale in the back of the book. He's in both. He's in the first story, but there's a Black Panther story called Legacy in the back.
Mm-hmm. Is that what issue number is that?
No, it's issue number 1, giant size number 1, Fantastic Four Unlimited.
Okay.
But I'm just wanting at some point, because I do feel like we have all of these black comic book companies that are doing something. Somebody's going to at some point ascend, and I'm just hoping that a few others are able to take advantage of the time. Somebody behind the scenes brought up Black Sands, the Rippaverse, are the closest thing to attain that success. Yeah. Well, the situation with Black Sands is interesting in that it's different on how he approached it. I'll say it like that. Rippaverse, that's kind of like making a deal with the devil. So, of course, when you make a deal with the devil, the question is how long before the devil collects. So right now, he can talk cash money-ish all day. However, they say it's all good till it ain't.
Yeah, it's one thing to cut a deal with Ethan Van Sciver, who is notorious for his views on race, and then later on, when it's not convenient, you're surprised that he acts the way that he does. How did you think the story was going to end?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. The chat is on fire, though.
Yes, thank you everybody for participating. I hope you're like the show, like and share.
Is the market big enough for everything we want? All I know is that we better have at least 30 or 40 likes to this video so far.
And
Viceman for Life is going in on Hudlin.
I never trusted Hudlin. I never tried with Earthman, but I didn't have the same passion. I like Reggie Hudlin, so I can't say anything on that, man. That Icon versus the Icon in Rocket series that he did with Leon Chill was dope. That was the best of this second iteration of Milestone, in my opinion. I think if Concrete or God Who can get a Priest, Brian Hill, Coates, Dr. Ewan, or Hudlin to write one of those titles, come up with their own title that would push them forward. They're pretty good as they are with what they got.
Mm-hmm.
It's
But
just if they whether or not they can get better.
I think Godhood or Concrete are positioned that they could take on that top layer talent. I'm talking the type of talent that has a following. That's what you need. That's what made Image hot.
Yes.
They took the top tier talent that had followings.
Yes.
That was automatically marketed. They had people that were going to, whatever they decide, they could write on a napkin and they said people would buy it.
Well, let me ask you this, though, Paul. Let me ask you this. Do you think that Godhood, they got something working against them? And what I'm getting is, I think what they got working against them is the fact that they're coming at in the fandom with villains. They're literally leading with a family of villains.
Yeah, it's different.
It's different. Plus, it's also there's no real universe around. They may be able to expand and do other things, but right now, all we really have is the antagonist. And so, at least with Concrete, you have Acolyte, you have Absolver, you have, is it Odina?
Odina.
So you have you kind of have a universe at Concrete. So and here's the funny thing about Advent. Advent stuff is almost too big. So they got a lot of different titles.
And a lot of different genres.
A lot of different genres, a lot of different titles. I mean, they have a lot of, somebody was asking me about Fate. They have religious comics in their stable.
Yeah, but back in the day when Image did it, Image, the way they were very unique. Image doesn't get enough credit for their beginnings. They're a completely different company now. But back when they originally started, again, they had all these top creators. Their deal, Image was born out of the concept of Marvel and DC gave us these contracts that say we only get paid X amount of dollars, and if we create something that makes them a lot of money, they put on lunch boxes and cartoons, we don't get a penny of that. So we're going to form a company where it's creators, whatever they create, they own for life. If you create a character and that character goes off and does a cartoon, as Youngblood did, as Wildcats did, as Savage Dragon did, you're going to get a cut of that for life. Very unique concept that is being emulated now. But each one of these creators had their own studio under Image. So Mark Silvestri had Top Cow. Jim Lee had Wildstorm.
Wildstorm, yeah.
Right? Todd McFarlane had Todd McFarlane. I mean, whatever he was calling it. Eric Larson had his own thing. Rob Liefeld had his own thing. They all had their own studios under the Image umbrella. And that's how they're able to keep the IP under those various studios. Now, a lot of those guys end up selling their IP. Like, I think Jim Lee sold his to DC and etc. But the concept
kind of sucks too, man, because he had the you talking about Brian Hill. Brian, that dude, yeah, man. He wrote Michael Clay, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's a Wildstorm book.
Yes, sir. Deathblow.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess the more I think about Brian Hill and his history and the things he's been able to do, that guy's money. Because that Michael Clay run that he did and the Wildstorm stuff he did was pretty good.
I want to pay attention to this breaking news that we have.
This is a Black Comic Lords exclusive.
Something is brewing at Godhood.
Why Comics is giving us a scoop.
If can we just send you a link and have you come on the show right now? I mean, just Tell us.
Listen, man, let them chill. We got to do this the right way, Paul. We don't
Fine.
Chill.
I'm impatient.
chill. We gotta cook it. This gumbo. This ain't hamburger helper. You fix that. You gotta cook gumbo. We trying
Dion
to cook
says, I
gumbo.
think if we can't get casuals into Black comics, then we will be in this perpetual cycle of unused character and unfulfilled potential. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the books have to sell across mainstream as well.
Well, and that's what we always bring up is making sure our audience is buying. You can't complain about what's not coming out if you're not buying what's coming out.
Do you think the answer for that is to have a bunch of white characters in the book?
Well, no.
Let me
thought about this today.
Let me give you my example, because
Go ahead.
Rich, you and I did a show a couple of years ago about Image Comics and the fact that Image Comics back in the 90s actually had a lot of dope Black characters.
Yes.
Dope Black lead characters. They had they had a bunch of team books. Everyone's copying the X-Men and the Avengers.
Yeah.
And they had a bunch of team books that were led by Black characters. If you have a Black creator that creates a super team, makes the lead character Black, but the rest of the team is not Black, would that sell? Image would answer. If you're following Image's example, the answer is yes.
It has, yes.
Listen, the melanated challenged are no different than we are. They want to see a face like theirs. They do. They do, Angel. They do. Listen, what you think now? I thought about this today, Paul. I was thinking about the DC Power book.
Yeah.
And the story with Nubia in it.
Yeah.
Why in the world would you put a story of Nubia, Queen Nubia, in the story with a 8-dimensional, 9-dimensional little short
Mr. Mitzel
leprechaun, Mr. Mizzleplick? Where'd that come from? Why?
Somebody was bored. I don't know.
That is pure.
No, that sounds like we need a white character. Okay, I'm gonna just do the almost off-brand, off the wall villain I can get.
That's not necessary to do that, because first of all, white people aren't gonna go buy that book.
No,
because they're gonna look at the cover, see Black History Month on it, and automatically say that book's not for me.
Yep.
But the Mixelplick fans
Mixelplick on the interior book, he's not even on the cover. Having him in the interior book is meaningless because no one's going to know.
But the Mixelplick fans will buy it.
Yes.
How are they going to buy it? He's not on the cover.
All five of them.
But he's not on the cover. Even if you're a big
you don't need. So I can speak on that. When someone follows a character, it doesn't matter if they're on the cover or not. There are people that will go to their LCS, and the LCS owners know this is a character that person follows, and they'll just put it in their pull because
I agree with you, but it's Mixelplick. When's the last time that guy's been in a comic book?
And that's the point.
That's not on anybody's radar where someone is like, hey, Tom loves Mixelplick. We got to make sure we put that in his. Nobody remembers that Tom loves Mixelplick because Mixelplick hasn't showed up in 30 years.
Well, he showed up.
Look, but see, to me, think about the let's talk about Marvel. Marvel have done it. They did it with the Ultimates. You had America Chavez, Black Panther, Monica Rambeau, Blue Mark, and who else? Carol Danvers.
You got to throw something in there for. We
need some mayonnaise to go with this mustard. I'm just saying.
And mustard together makes Dijonnaise, man.
I'm just saying, But that's something that's not germane. That's what they do. You and I. What is the rule of three? The Dwayne McDuffie rule of three. 3 Black superheroes on the cover of a magazine or a comic book is considered a Black book.
It's a Black book by law.
So It's literally a numbers game with them. Okay, we need somebody else. I mean, you know, it's.
I think that might be the key, dude. I mean, have a black team, have a team book, have the main character be black.
Yeah.
So it's his book or her book, right? And then have the rest of the team be white.
Now we got to stop. We got to stop. We just missed.
That book was called The Uncanny X-Men back in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah. Paul, we've been running our mouth. We missed the super chat.
We did.
We did.
Super chat.
And it had a question too. We missed the super chat. There it is.
My bad. My bad. We're sitting here talking, and I wasn't paying attention. I apologize. But thank you very much.
We did not know that T'Challa's in that book. Thanks for telling us.
Wait, T'Challa's what?
The one that just came out?
And Dominique Smith says thoughts on Spider-Punk and T'Challa being in it.
Gosh darn it.
What? How did I miss that?
Marion, don't look at it. Shut your eyes, Marion. Don't look at it no matter what happens.
America.
At least we got a super chat for it. Hey, I ain't mad at that.
Man.
Dominic says it's more like a cameo. But I mean, either way, listen, anytime T'Challa show up on the scene, it's all good. It's all great.
Oh, yeah. I see. Okay.
We good with it. We good with it.
Jeffrey Thorne says that's why Milestone worked. Multi-ethnic, not just black. Facts.
Yeah. Yeah. The Blood Syndicate, to me, I've said this. Blood Syndicate to me is the most Milestone book there was. Because you had, Koreans, you had, Ricans, you had everything in the Blood Syndicate, and it was cool. It was cool. It was one of my favorite. Hardware is my favorite book, of course, but Blood Syndicate was like a close second. I love Static and I loved Icon, but I just had an affinity for the Blood Syndicate for whatever reason, and Hardware. I liked Hardware because Curtis Metcalf was just, black man with a bunch of money, taking it to the man. I'm here for that. Twice on Sundays.
Look what Dion said. I literally asked ChatGPT, who are the Black Comic Lords? And they responded with a brief description and a link to your website. That's scary.
Nice. Made it.
Wow.
Yep. The government knows who you are, Paul.
There's a difference between race and ethnicity, and oftentimes people get that confused.
True that.
True. Is the market big enough for everything we want?
Yes.
That's like saying, is the world big enough for us to exist?
Yes.
If we exist, then yes, it's big enough for what we want.
I have a question. And this might make us go another hour, but I don't care. I'm going to ask it.
Wow.
Okay.
That's how you know it's a serious question, because Rich is always the first one like, stop to go to bed.
I thought I was going to keep it and do it on my show, but I'd rather do it with you guys.
I feel
no. Listen, what would make you happy? With the fandom, what would make you happy? And is there a source to your happiness? Because I feel like if we get everything we're asking for, we still wouldn't be happy.
I can honestly say, when the announcement was made on DC Fandom a couple of years ago that Milestone was coming back, and the things they said they were going to do with the cartoons and the movies and the television show and the merch, I was genuinely and truly happy and excited, because my favorite comic book company was coming back with not only its original creators, minus Ivan Velez, still bitter about that, and new talent with a new face on it for the 21st century. It had the potential, that, as they described it, as opening it up to a new generation. Static alone, that's all you needed, right? Do the Static cartoon again, an animated movie, a new animated television show. You don't even have to do live action. Do Miles Morales Across the Spider-Verse, but with static, and introduce the Milestone universe with that. That's all you got to do. You already know there's a market for it, right? Because Miles Morales did so well. Now you could argue, well, he's known, it's Spider-Man, it's a brand, people know Spider-Man, they're familiar with it. But we know that there's a market for animation doing well. And if you market it properly, Static is a big name. I mean, there's a whole generation of people that grew up on Static Shock. So, yeah, do that movie, introduce the Milestone universe, bam, it's your kickstart for your entire your retire regime. I was excited.
Thank you for halfway answering my question. What about you, Angel? Are you happy? What would make you happy?
So,
what would make you happy?
I am more than happy. I'm ecstatic because the little girl that would go to the newsstand and get a comic book, and sit with the guys and trading basketball cards and talking about the latest comic book. We were ostracized. We were in the corner. The mainstream anything couldn't stand us. We were the weirdos, don't talk to me. I had all of that till way after college. And
Wow.
to go out in the world and see the things that I loved growing up that already made me happy because of the possibilities, the plausible science is what really captures me in comic books, because it's the imagination of the writer and then the artist brings it to life visually. I'm already happy. I can go on any streaming platform and see a comic book character on the screen. That was never a thing. I'm already happy. There's whatever other people want, they're missing that. There was such obscurity with comic books, and it's no more. It's mainstream now.
So, given that what you just said, and given what Paul just said,
Yeah.
Paul,
Yes.
she kind of threw down the gauntlet. We didn't have all of this when we were young. Now we have it all. We got everything now, and yet we're not. Bless you. We're not always happy with what we have. This plethora of comic books and characters and cartoons and animation and all of that, and we're still not happy.
I am.
What's stopping you from being happy, Paul?
Well,
it's our therapy session now.
I'm tired of having appetizers. I'd like a meal.
True that.
Someone just posted a comment about the DC Power book or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, NBA Live girl. She says, I like the idea one of you guys mentioned about putting short black stories at the end of other comic books. I think that was something I said in a live a few weeks ago. I did a few videos on the Black History Month celebrations by Marvel and DC with Chillmonger. And one of the things I've said, I believe in what those books do, because the concept of Black History Month in general has a twofold need or agenda, which is to celebrate our culture. That's one. The second is to educate ourselves on our history within that culture. That's two. And I think both those books, even though, people have their thoughts on them, both those books attempt to do that. Marvel Voices Legends really did an outstanding job this year, in my opinion, in accomplishing both of those. In particular, I love the fact that they paid homage to Dennis Cowan and Matthew Baker, tied Matt Baker into Marvel's history. I hadn't thought about that. Matt Baker was a Marvel artist.
Yep.
Most people didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't think about that. I mean, I've done videos with Ken Quattro and Richard about Matt Baker, and I hadn't put two and two together that some of his works were with Atlas Comics, the Marvel's predecessor. He was a Marvel artist. That's part of Marvel's history.
Mm-hmm.
And people that aren't familiar, casuals that aren't familiar with Matt Baker, they learned something when they read that. Younger people today probably don't know who Dennis Cowan is. The guy's the GOAT. They learned something about that. There are characters in those books people may have never seen before. They got to see them. What I loved about the DC book is they took a step further. The books, the characters they introduced to the book, they did bios of them in the end of the book. So people would be like, hey, there's a lot more to this character I didn't know about. Let me go get those books and learn more about that character. That's dope. And then Rich talked about the Milestone Initiative. What made it important is that they try to bring up new young talent. Both these books, to their credit, try to do that. They try to put new young talent on. And that's how you make it in this business. I watched a video of a YouTube person, I think it might have been Chillmonger, who asked Vonell, hey, Vonell Young, Delta Dogs, if you were offered a Marvel book, would you take it? He actually sat there and thought about it before he answered. And he said, yeah, probably, yeah. And he was shocked by the answer. Like, well, why would you do that? You've got your own independent book. It's Marvel.
Right.
It's the big dogs. You want to own your own IP, obviously, but that opens doors for you.
Yes,
it's a resume builder that I worked for Marvel. I worked for DC. Why wouldn't you do that? Right? So you got to understand the significance of putting these hot young artists on, because in Marvel Voices 1 that came out 4 or 5 years ago, there's an upcoming writer who popped up in like several stories in the first issue. That writer's name was Cody Ziegler, the writer of one of Marvel's top books right now. Definitely one of their top IPs, which is Miles Morales. And that's where he got his start. That's the importance of those books. Now, beyond that, I get the argument that it's important. It's not just about putting out these covers and these one book in this 1 month. The real way to do it is to have what would be ideal is for us to have this share throughout the year. And there's two ways that I think both these companies would do a better service at doing it. One is instead of just doing these books, have backup stories. DC's notorious in their history of having backup cover, B stories in the back of their books. Have B stories of Black characters throughout all their books, all the mainstream books, all the quote unquote non-melanated books, and have, because DC is a perfect example, they're a legacy-based company. All their IP is really sort of Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, The Flash, Green Lantern, Green Arrow. Their entire universe is based on basically those 7 characters. They're derivatives of those 7 characters. So you can take those 7 characters and those 7 books, show their Black derivatives, their adjacents, the people that are tied to them, and put them in backup stories in all of those titles during the month of Black History Month. And then throw a bio in there and a list of, here, you like this character? Here's a list of books that you can buy where you can further flesh out, your knowledge of this character. That's real Black history. And then do a story about a creator in your history at those titles that people didn't know about. One of the things that popped up, Big Phil, shout out to Big Phil. He went to, I think it was Detroit, and he met with a group of OG GOAT Black creators. And he says, here's Arvell Jones, co-creator of Misty Knight. Co-creator of Misty Knight. I hadn't thought about that. Does that make him the first black creator who ever created a black superhero at Marvel. Does anyone know the answer to that? I think it might be it. I don't know. But that raises a very good question. We have all these old creators that have gone unassumedly about their business in their careers with no love, no accolades, and they helped build these companies. They helped build Marvel and DC. They get no love. They get no accolades. You know?
I mean, you know, look, we know that that's an issue, Paul. But that's why Black Comic Lords is here to try to.
That's why we're freaking here.
So, you know, again, I think the goal above all things is to exactly shed that light. But I also think the goal needs to be to have people like Angel, people that are happy at what they're collecting. That right there is like, okay. And I don't know if Marvel and DC is the answer, which is why we are doing a lot with independence, because I think we have gotten to a place in our fandom and in our desire to see ourselves in good light, in a consistent light, and just different because, again, Marvel, to your point, and DC, to your point, have been given nothing but appetizers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at least you got Black Panther. I think that it's almost like the one-off, if I can say it like that. It's like if you could sit down with a Marvel exec and really tell him your frustration why they won't use their black characters. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I think that the conversation for that is going to take place after John Jennings and Angelique Roche released their book, My Superhero is Black. When that comes out,
drop it in June.
And when that's this year or 2025?
This year.
This year. When that book comes out, Marvel's phones and emails should be lit up. Where are these characters? Why haven't we seen these characters? What's going, you know, I didn't know about this character. I didn't know about those kind of things. It's, to me, it's so easy, but yet it's probably hard because, again, we're not the target audience. I think that's the troubling thing about all of this is that, you know, we desired so much, Paul, and yet we're only going to get so much because we're not the target audience. We're not the fanboys. We're not the straight old white men that they've been catering to.
And that's the answer.
You know, we're just not, which is why, you know, our trust and confidence should be put more into these independents, because it's us. It's like FUBU. It's for us, by us. So, you know, I wrestle with this idea that, you know, because let me ask you something, Paul.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody comes along and does a character like T'Challa, not great value T'Challa, but a real legitimate superhero on an independent level that really goes at that really goes at the neck, and just like, because I remember Amani when I first was introduced into to Infinitum, and I remember him saying that this is what Black Panther should be or could be. And I remember reading that book. And after I finished that book, I was like, man, if I could get this, I'd leave all that other stuff alone. If I could get this on a consistent basis, I would have no need for Marvel, DC. I would need there would be no need, because all of it is right here. Yeah. And that was just one epic. You know what I'm saying? It's like the talent is there. Tim Fielder, I think Tim Fielder doesn't realize what he created. I think he does, but I also think that he doesn't know how magical that book was. Because Infinitum is not Infinitum has been out how long? Like 4 or 5 years? It's been out a minute. But I haven't read anything as fantastical as it. And I love a lot of the different stuff, but that book, I could not put that book down.
Yeah, I read that thing in one setting, and that was a good 120 pages or so.
So again, it's one of those things, bro. I'm like, I think we're gonna get what we want.
Yes.
We're just not gonna get it in the package we wanted.
That part. That part.
That's exactly right.
So y'all stay tuned. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Because
part of the thing that you said, and I think you and I spoke about this before, you and I are old heads.
Yes, sir.
And part of the difficulty for old heads like ourselves to give up on Marvel and DC is we were socialized to get comics in a certain way, in a certain package. You know, we're socialized to get that hit.
Yes, sir.
Every Wednesday, right?
Yes.
We got to have our hit every Wednesday. You know, and it's like a comfortable shoe. It's like that warm, worn out blanket you've had for years. It gives you comfort, right? It's comfort food. That's what Marvel and DC is for us, for people of our generation that got into comics because of these characters, because of these books. It's in our DNA at this point to love these books, to love these characters. And it's hard to divest yourself from that. But you can't ignore the quality that you see in these independent books. You can't ignore that. I'm looking at art that's better than, what I'm seeing in these Marvel and DC books. Stories that are better, that have to do with our people.
Yes.
Right? Where we have agency. Where our characters are treated with dignity and they're not just brown versions of character X, Y, and Z. But they don't necessarily come out every month.
I will say this though, Palmer. Some of y'all that really want if you really want to just check out some stuff, go to Indie Planet.
Yeah.
You can go down the rabbit hole.
Yes.
On Indie Planet. You trust me when I tell you, you'll be on that site for like 30, 45 minutes looking at all that stuff. It's a lot of stuff out here, y'all. Styles said you're going to answer your question, Rich.
So answer your own question.
Oh, you talking about me being happy?
Yes.
Look, I'm not happy unless I'm talking trash about somebody. So
there you go. Talk trash every week. So
come back Sunday night. I'll have some more trash talk for you. A real talk with Rich. But no, seriously, I am I'm as happy as I could be for the week, if I can say it like that. Because again, I love stories. I just love story, period. I once read I listened to an audiobook. And you have to be a basketball fan to understand this. There used to be a coach, used to coach the Boston Celtics, Red Auerbach. And Red Auerbach is a legend in the Boston Celtics history. He was a coach. He owned the team at one time. He was a guy. But he put out a book called Let Me Tell You a Story. And basically in the book it's just him sharing all of these different stories. And how they created this book was Red would have lunch or dinner at a certain restaurant with him and like 4 or 5 of his friends. And he would do this every Tuesday. And he would just sit there and hold court and tell these stories. And his friends were entertained by it. And I'm kind of like that. I'm here for the story. I love, different fantasy. And I tell people, I don't care if it's about a cockroach. I don't care if it's about a god. I don't care if it's about an animal. All of these stories are human stories because they're written by human beings. And the whole thought is I can identify myself with these characters. I can understand these characters. I don't have to necessarily be them to be able to identify with them or to be intrigued by them. So I love these stories. We were talking about your boy Paul. We were talking about T'Challa and how T'Challa embodies the best of being a black man. He's royal. He's regal. He has standards. He has character. He's not community D. He loves who he loves. He doesn't run around. He's not macking a whole bunch of chicks. He's actually got ethics.
That's why. He's my dude.
And so because of that, when we don't have no one like him to compare him to, I mean, because literally it's like, my guy is Jefferson Pierce. I love Jefferson Pierce because Jefferson Pierce is a educator. He's an athlete. He lives in the hood and he fights for the hood. I can identify it. I see that dude every day at work. I see that dude down the block. I see that dude at my wife's school. So we can identify with these characters in different ways. And so the stories that they tell or they're able to tell, or the stories that they won't tell, I'm more interested in them starting to really peel back layers on that character. I don't care what none of y'all say. I love Storm, but the Storm story has yet to be written. I love Storm. I love Aurora Monroe, but the Storm story has yet to be written. The only one to come close to that is Eric Jerome Dickey. No one else has come close.
Not even Al Ewing?
Nope.
I gotta disagree with that.
Nope.
Al Ewing's done some.
The reason why I say that, Paul, is because Al Ewing just took what was already there and just magnified it. He didn't do nothing really special with. He didn't really do anything special. He literally just took a microscope and said, "This woman been here all this time. Let me just put the light on her." That's all he did.
That's true. That's true.
That's all he did. So I mean, I give him credit for doing that. I give him credit for not objectifying her. I give him credit for not making her a pincushion. I give him credit for those things. But the Storm story, who can really tell me who is Aurora Monroe?
Looks like Herschel jumped on Dion's account.
If Captain America reaches $1 billion, every one of y'all will be Sam Wilson fanboy overnight. Look.
That's not how that works.
I listen. Who is it that I asked? I asked somebody that I don't know if it was on our live. We talked to somebody, Paul, and we talked about that movie, and if that movie is a success, how ironic that would be. That this character, this displaced character, this legacy character, if the movie is a success, can he be Captain America if it's a movie's a success?
I don't know what they're planning for Sam Wilson.
There's been a lot of reshoots. We know that. I don't think Marvel knows.
I honestly have no idea what they're doing with Sam Wilson. It doesn't make any logical sense.
Have no inside info.
They literally could have simply upgraded his gear or his power set to make him more interesting. If you look at the first 10 minutes of Falcon and the Winter Soldier, that opening scene where in the battle scene, that's some of the best stuff I've seen in the MCU, period.
I might just go watch that for the 10 minutes and cut it off and go to bed.
That's all you need is the first 10 minutes of the first episode. You can skip all the rest of it. Maybe fast forward to the Isaiah Bradley scenes. Every one of those scenes were great. But the first 10 minutes, that's the whole series. That's Sam Wilson. That's Falcon. That's the Falcon that you had from the Ultimate Comics, of which the Sam Wilson of the MCU is based. That's
now,
my
Sakuma, he says something. He says here, he says, we love T'Challa, but it isn't fair to label him as the main representation for black men. Idealistically, there should be a spectrum of Marvel black male characters for us to latch on to. Well, see, here's the problem with that. The problem with that, and I had this discussion with someone recently. I said it on my show about how I want Black Panther fans to highlight some of these other characters that T'Challa interacts with. Because you're right. We need more of a spectrum. But we don't have that spectrum because Marvel refuses to put Luke Cage and T'Challa in a book together more than 1 or 2 issues.
Yeah.
They refuse to put Blade in a book with, I don't know. When's the last time anybody seen Nightwatch? Now, some will say, well, he's a Spawn throw-up. What up? We ain't seen Nightwatch since Nightwatch.
We have Sam Wilson and T'Challa in the same book in the Avengers. But they don't like each other.
Yeah.
After 50 years of history, they don't like each other. Why? Because it's convenient.
That's crazy, man.
Whatever the agenda Marvel's got going on with these characters right now.
There's always an agenda.
That part.
I'm tired of the agendas. Whatever happened to just writing good stories?
My part. That part.
Was there never an agenda?
The agenda before was to write good stories.
Let me ask you a question. I'm gonna ask you, Angel. Angel, I'm gonna ask you this question. What is your no serious? This is a serious question. What is your favorite? If you can think it off the top of your head, what is your favorite comic book story?
It's still Amazing Spider-Man. I mean, that's not going to change.
Okay, so I mean, I'm not talking about character. I'm talking about story.
Yeah, Peter Parker's story. When
okay, but I'm like, what? Can you tell me like what issue? What was the story about? That kind of thing.
Off the top of my head, I don't remember the issue number, but it's when he first got his powers. And he was so angry about everything, and he wanted to make money. And he has the mask on, and he goes and he fights in the underground arena.
Right.
And the criminal, and he just felt it wasn't his problem, but it was a defining moment for him when the same criminal that he's like, well, flipping about, and Uncle Ben is killed. Mm-hmm. His character developed into this perfect wish list for me, like perfect wish list for what he represented. He believed in second chances. He hates to kill. He believes in third chances. He believes people can be redeemed no matter how dark of a path they went down. And I still collect ASM to this day. And no matter what the challenge is, it's few stories where he's pushed past his limit and he does have to off someone. Right. But it's so rare. And out of all the characters in Marvel, he's just has this this wish list that you know that I want to see in his type of people.
Well, the writer of Mosaic, Jeffrey Thorne, personally asked you to go read his book Mosaic.
Oh, you know what?
Get that type of energy.
That's actually on my list.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Mosaic. I think you'll enjoy Mosaic. Well, I'll know you'll enjoy Mosaic. The reason why I asked that question is because all of us have stories that we can identify with or whatever. And that Spider-Man story, that's like there's literally been almost 900 comic books, Spider-Man comic books. But that is the genesis, that is the center of who Peter Parker is, that story, right? And so one of my favorite comic books, Spider-Man comic book. Spider-Man's not even in it. Paul knows this. Spider-Man, was it 35?
Mm-hmm. Peter Parker.
Peter Parker, Spider-Man number 35. I'd recommend that book to anybody. That story is just incredible. That story made me cry. I've never really cried reading a comic book, Paul. But I cried when I read that. She thought that was funny. Angel, you probably listen. You need to go read that. You go read that. Go find that book.
That wasn't even a laugh. That was a cackle.
I know.
She cackled that.
The first run is really relatable. Just trying to stack his pennies to support him and his Aunt May. Yeah, no doubt. The struggle was real with.
I've read so many comic books that got me in the gut, and I'm sitting there, and you.
That's cold, Angel. That's cold. That is cold. I'm just saying, for real.
I've been there so many times. That's why it was so funny, because it's
Jeffrey Thorne says the truth is folks need to lift up the amazing stories the same way they did with Walking Dead. The creators can only do half of this work. Folks need to make Bitterroot as big as Walking Dead. That's facts.
Well,
at the end of the day,
that's everywhere. So how do they make it big if they can't?
At the end of the day, you got to buy the books.
Yeah. The reason why Walking Dead became The Walking Dead was because people bought the books. People bought the books.
Y'all. You gotta buy the books.
Yeah, people bought the books. And the funny thing is,
I'm trying to think about my answer to your question. What's my favorite?
Yeah, what's your favorite story?
Right? Comic story?
Yeah. If you could just think of one off the top of your head. Because to me, I have several, but I brought up Spider-Man because Angel brought up Spider-Man.
There's like several that I can think of off the top of my head. One was in New Warriors, where the New Warriors traveled to an alternate dimension where Egypt was never conquered and took over the world. It was the blackening. Oh yeah, the Sphinx. It was the blackening of the world. It was the black version of the world, where Captain America was now Captain Assyria in black. Storm was Storm. Instead of Thor, you had Hero, God of Thunder. It was just that just kind of blew my mind as a kid. I'm reading that. I'm like looking at, and it wasn't just like we're doing black versions of characters. These were like Egyptian and African versions of characters. The detail even went to like architecture was made to look like Egyptian or African architecture in New York. I mean, it was just, the concept was crazy. I don't even know how that got approved. The concept was crazy. That's one. The greatest crossover of all time for me, what really got me into comics, Marvel Comics, was Marvel Superhero Secret Wars.
That's what's up.
That was the greatest crossover. To this day, I consider it the greatest crossover of all time.
So,
and then finally,
hold on, Paul. We got a super chat.
Really? Thank you.
Yeah, Jeffrey Thorne just blessed us with a super chat.
It's funny he should say that, because I want to say my final one is the one shot that Jeffrey Thorne did on Black Panther, King in Black.
King in Black. That's definitely that's one of the best one shots ever.
Literally, I can't think of a singular one shot Black Panther story that's better than what Jeff Thorne did in King in Black. That story had everything: action, world building on Wakanda, romance between him and Storm, just epic battles. It had everything in one freaking book. I'm still amazed by that book. I am and I'm not saying this because you gave a super chat, Mr. Thorne. I didn't even notice.
He knows we love that book.
I love that book. I need to get it slabbed in a 9.8 just to have it, man. But yeah, so to that end, thank you, sir. Let us give your super chat. It's
Now, I will say, we got to get out of here. We almost 2 hours, 30 minutes in, but
Yeah,
I will mention one story. Luke Cage by David Walker. It's the last book that he did. I think it was Luke Cage 166. I want to say, but it's literally a story of Luke with his daughter.
Yeah,
they're reading a fantasy story or whatever, and it's just a comic book of a dad and his daughter. And I just love that story because it is just literally the most ordinary thing any of us could do, and that's like tell a story to our child, to our daughter or our son. That's one of my favorites, and that's written by David Walker. And supposedly, from what I heard, David Walker at that point kind of didn't even really care about the directions. He just kind of wanted to just, okay, I'm gonna just throw this out here, this fly in the ointment. But that book right there, that is a beautiful book. You should get that if you don't have that in your collection.
Alone speaks volumes. David Walker's on record saying this of his run, this was his favorite issue that he did.
Oh, I just want to throw in. I just ordered the floppies of Mosaic 1, 2, and 3 from Midtown.
There you go.
So I'll have those in a couple of days.
Yep, I think you'll enjoy that for sure. Yeah, that's an underused character that's been on the shelf, and why? Who knows? The Inhuman. How many Black Inhumans are there, Paul?
There are a few.
There's a few in Marvel.
Starting with the biggest one is Lunella Lafayette.
Yep. Have you guys been watching The Moon Girl since it's been back?
Every I watch an episode a day with my daughter. We're almost done.
Oh wow. Oh well.
And we got another super chat.
Oh,
hey. Another great show. Thoroughly enjoyed this. Thank you, CL. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Donation. It's a donation. I thought it was the trash. Don't be hitting on me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. I think it's time to get out of here.
Yeah, I gotta go to bed. I gotta work in the morning. Day job. Y'all trying to get me fired.
I'd say the weekend's almost here, but not quite.
Not quite.
On the downward slope.
All right.
Well, thank you all for spending time with us. Please, if you haven't done so already, please hit the like button. If you're enjoying the content, please subscribe to our channel. Hit the bell, the notification bell. Not only does it notify you of when we do these shows, it also helps our algorithm so that the Black Comic Lords can spread elsewhere. To that end, please also share the video on whatever social media you have. Tell your friends about us. We need to grow the channel so that we can be bigger and do bigger things for all of you.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And until next time, we say peace, love, and soul.
Absolutely. Black Comic Lords, we got